Hello there, Samuel, and welcome to episode 24 of the Train Sim News Show, which is an interview.
Well, it's good to be here. I'm very happy to be to join you on one of your episodes because I love watching them, and it's just great. I'm looking forward to it.
Great, I'm looking forward to it as well. I think I think a good way to start this would be to introduce yourself, because not all my viewers know who you are. I know
Hmm hmm
some of them are from my school, actually, or
hmm
college, more like.
Well, I'm Samuel, and I'm also known as QwertyAfro Afro on YouTube, and I run a YouTube channel where I just basically play the games I like to play, really, which is mainly popular with Train Sim and now OMSI 2 as well. And I'm just basically a huge fan of simulation games, essentially. And yeah, that's essentially what I do.
All right, that's nice. I have seen your channel before. I know who you are, but it's just good to introduce you to
Yeah,
our
yeah,
viewers. Yeah. Right. I think the best way to start this off is I know many people are kind of curious to know about train sim, but I want to start off with something else
yeah.
because
Okay.
I've noticed we have a lot of we have both of us have many things in common with each other.
hmm
We both have the same roughly the same skin color.
Yeah,
We're both in the United Kingdom.
yeah,
We both like trains.
yeah.
We both have birthdays in October.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
mine's the 11th, yours the 30th. And
So we're
actually,
both Scorpios. Nice.
yeah. And also, your birthday, October 30th, is actually
Hmm
my mum's birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see? We also,
That's
yeah. Sorry, we have two cats, but you only have one, don't you?
No, we have two cats
Oh,
as well. Oh my God.
and I have a sister.
Oh, younger.
Younger.
Oh yeah.
Right. See? We have much.
Oh, maybe you're just my lost twin brother there. We just
Maybe.
never met.
It, yeah, it was always meant to be. Yeah, so I was kind of surprised about that after I watched your Q&A. Hang on, you've got a lot in common with me.
That's great to know, man.
Yeah. So the first thing to have a proper discussion on is after watching your Q&A, some of the questions I have for you are leading on from from your Q&A. My apologies. And
Okay.
you said that you used to plane spots a bit.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite plane? Because you didn't actually mention that.
My favorite plane is probably the Airbus A340.
Uh huh.
Specifically, I think the 800 series, the one with four engines, essentially.
They all I thought yeah all Airbus A340s have four engines.
Oh, do they? I thought there
Yeah.
was like one that was like specifically with two. I don't know. Well, yeah, that
Yeah.
the one with four, I like it. Just it's a really interesting plane because it's not really one that gets talked about a lot. Because obviously you have the A380 with the four engines and the 747 with the four engines, and then
Yeah.
you have the A340 over there that has four engines as well, but no one really talks about it. And it was kind of like a in a way like a failed experiment with Airbus trying to kind of tap in there to like get I think it actually has more seats on an A340 than a 747, but I'm not too sure. But it's like they were playing around with like capacity there with that.
It's a single deck four engine plane.
Mm,
Yes,
mm,
I have some knowledge in planes, not as much as trains, but if someone
mm,
told me, "Hey, that's an Airbus A320," I'd know what they mean. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
just.
I yeah, I like it, and it's a bit of a sluggish plane. Like when I've gone to plane spot and when I've seen it, it's like one of the few planes that just take so long to actually rotate and take off because it's so heavy and doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have the full force like a 747. But yeah, it's probably my favorite, and in probably Virgin Atlantic livery.
Alrighty then. Well, for me, I might as well tell you mine as well. For
Right.
plane in service, it's
Hmm
possibly the Boeing 777 because those engines are overpowered.
Yeah, they
They
are.
are.
They are.
There's like I said, I can't remember the name of them as well. It's G90. Yeah, the G90s are just ridiculously overpowered. But
Hmm
my favorite plane of all time, Concorde. No
Concord.
ifs. There's
Oh,
no way I could.
for nostalgia, definitely Concord.
Yeah.
Really, really, really. I wish it was in service, and I hope they do something in the future with supersonic speed again, because it's such a shame that it just had to leave the way it did, and
Mm-hmm.
just it'd be good to resurrect some sort of idea of Concord again.
I wish they could.
It'd be
Yeah.
such fun.
Well, the bare minimum, I really wish what they did at least is fly it once or twice a year, like a preservation, like they do with Steam trains.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
yeah,
Charge
like a nice,
300 quid a ticket. I mean, yeah, it's expensive,
yeah,
but people will
yeah.
get it.
Just have like a one, New York to London trip, return, whatever. Just, just to keep the kind of tradition alive and just have like people have some sort of experience of it because like not everyone could have flown on them when they were in service, and now
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of nostalgia for Concorde because when I was younger, when we were back living in Feltham, I lived underneath one of the flight paths. Uh,
Mm.
and like I said, it was really loud, but
Oh
I
yeah.
loved it. And I also saw it at the was it Golden Jubilee? I saw that formation with the red arrows. That
Oh,
was I was still in the pram at the time, but I loved it.
that
I
must
was
have been awesome. That must
yeah
have been so awesome.
yeah. So like I said, Concorde's probably my favourite plane of all time, but
Mm.
777's in regards to insert. Oh, and I also like the MD-11. I like that one,
Oh
one with three
yeah,
engines.
yeah.
All right then. All right. So, other thing to talk about related to train spotting because I remember you said in your Q&A
Hmm.
that you don't really you only train spot passively. So like if you're on the train,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like I've never gone out. I've never gone out really just to solely train spot. I've done some like what I tend to do is like if I was to go out to like actually just train spot, I kind of um, it's more just I go and I do like like say when in London with the tube or whatever, I would go around the tube, go to certain stations, might just have a gander there or whatever.
Hmm.
I would never like record anything or whatever. So I think sometimes there was like a few things that I recorded just for my own pleasure, but I just just for the sake, just go around, just enjoy the kind of environment. And most of the times, as I said in my Q&A, I just liked going around just to relax, to de-stress or whatever. It was just a
Yeah.
nice way of just going about.
It's not really your cup of tea then.
No, I'm have nothing against it.
Oh.
It's just I would if I had like more of a even in-depth passion for it, but I have nothing against it, and I think it's really
All right.
cool. I do love watching train spotting videos though. That's something
Mm-hmm.
that's like a secret guilty pleasure of mine as well. I love watching just things that I might not ever get to go to certain things. So I just like to watch what happens there, what passes through, and it's a hobby there.
Yeah, that's all right. 'Cause I've been train spotting a lot since I was younger, and one of
Mm.
the stations I loved going to was Harrow and Wealdstone. I love that.
Mm.
Yeah, that was a really fun station to go to
Mm.
because you already know the fast line platforms, good view both ends, and what's it called?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was just a good view of the fast line platforms, and then Network Rail stepped in and said, "We'll just fence them off because safety." So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
station's pointless now.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I mean, like I said, I'm not one of the because the train spotting community
Hmm.
there's kind of two sides to it. There are those like in my side where we go to places, play you know all not how can I put it? Well, yeah, we go to places and just film trains,
Yeah.
the old trains, whatever trains we see, and
Hmm.
then there are those that well, I'm not one of those ones who say, "Oh, thrash clag" and stuff like that. That's just really cringing to me. That is really cringeworthy. I used
So,
to be one of them. I
so
used
the
to.
extremists,
Yeah,
so
yeah, oh
the
yeah, yeah. The
extreme end.
extremists. That's the good way to put
Yeah.
it. Yeah, just I'm not one of those. And I'm like I said, I'm pretty just subtle. I mind my own business. I don't. I mean, if I bump into somebody I knew, I would say hello. But other than
Mm,
that, nah, I
mm,
usually keep my distance. And I
yeah.
usually and I prefer to go to train spotting to train spot at stations that are quiet or away from civilization, like Winchfield. I went filming
Mm,
there. It's a nice train spotting station. There's barely anything there, and you got good
mm,
views of the lines.
mm, mm.
All right
Yeah, I've
then.
seen some of your transporting videos.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Right. Now, well, just checking my other notes. Right. On some of the other video games you've stated you've played are FPSs. Like Crisis, and you say you play
Yeah,
Call of Duty as well.
I used to. The FPS genre is way behind me now, to be
Oh.
honest.
Ah.
The thing, it used to be like, because I got into gaming. Well, I was uh, like my gaming history kind of started off when I was Uh, I have to actually thank my grandmother for this because my mum was never really for gaming, and then
Uh,
my grandmother bought me a PS1. and
Oh,
literally I just fell in love with that and just played all sorts of things like Spyro and Crash
Spyro.
Bandicoot
Yeah, I love those games.
and just fell in love with that. And then basically from the PS1, I didn't really do much anything else except for the PS1. Like the PS2 came out, and never really got into that because no one really wanted to buy it for me or my sister.
Mhm.
And past that, it got to like high school, secondary school, and still just wasn't really too well. Had like a just some sort of average sort of PC for back then, and just tried to find all those kind of freeware stuff like OpenBV and those kind of things to just
Yeah.
try and get into the kind of train sim stuff. And I think that's when I sort of got like the first Railworks or whatever, but I couldn't run it because I had such a bad PC.
Yeah.
And then I got a PS3. Eventually, like I think in eight or somewhere like that.
Oh,
It was
lucky.
very later on, and then I started getting into Call of Duty and stuff with my mates and stuff, and then just but then like it was Call of Duty, and then I went into Assassin's Creed, which I really
Oh,
liked,
yeah. Sorry.
and then it just started to kind of wear off the later it got like closer to GCSEs where I kind of got a better PC. I kind of then started doing. I had like another channel which I did more FPS kind of stuff on,
Hmm.
which I don't talk about anymore because it's hidden away somewhere. If you can find it, then you're just one of those lucky people that find something very old from me. But then
Yeah.
when I started doing like sim content, it was mainly when I started playing with Cities in Motion too, and that's the kind of video series that really got my kind of gaming side of my channel really started off because I used to do like tech videos as well before, but we won't talk about that.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, that's certainly some history. Like I said, if you started with the PS1, that's certainly way before me, because I think the first game console I got, or my gaming history goes, and I got a Game Boy Advance SP. I was one of the lucky people who got an SP. Not
I forgot to mention I
yeah.
did actually in between that I had a Game Boy Advance SP
Was
which I
it
actually
blue?
yes I got the blue edition one which I was so in love with, and then I took it into school. I think it was like during a summer kind of play scheme in school, like where
Mhm.
just my mum just dropped us off there and we just had activities or whatever there, and I
Uh-huh.
took my Game Boy Advance SP, the blue one, into school. And this was the first time I was taking it out of the house. I always kept it in the house. I never really wanted to take it anywhere because I didn't want it to break or get
Yeah.
scratched up or anything. And I took it this first time ever. And then some of my friends played on it, which was fine. Then another friend played on it, and he got so annoyed when he was like, I think it was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire was in the console,
Uh-huh.
and he couldn't beat a certain level, so he thrashed it on the floor because he was so angry. And then
Oh.
I was like, really, really sad. And then after that
Oh.
time, when I tried to get another one, I couldn't get another one. So I
Oh.
think I got just a normal advance, and then I got actually a PSP after some time, but I don't really play that much PSP anymore. But yeah,
Ah.
just to add that in.
Sorry about that. I mean, like I said, I did have a PS. No, I didn't. I never had a PSP because we didn't really have any interest in it. I mean, let's say, like I said, my console history goes with. Let's try and remember. Game Boy Advance SP, where I had loads of games on that.
Hmm.
Mainly the Sonic Advance games. I had lots of fun with that. Then I got for Christmas after like several years after that, I got a PS2 where I just loved playing Sonic Unleashed.
Hmm.
That was such a fun game.
Hmm.
Really hard as well, but it was really fun. And then
Hmm.
after that, we got a Wii, which we barely use. And my
Oh,
sister, oh,
oh my
oh,
god, I forgot again to
a
say
Wii.
I have a Wii. Like I'm literally forgetting so much things, and every time you like say something, I'm just getting reminded like oh my god, I had that. Yeah, I had a Wii, and actually I forgot even to tell you, I have a Wii U right now.
Really
Uh,
now?
yeah, which I got into as well. But the only reason I got a Wii U is for Smash Brothers.
Oh no! Oh, you play Smash Bros.
Yeah.
I play Smash Bros as well.
And I have a DS as well. I forgot to mention that, and I have Smash Brothers on that as well. And that's the
I
only
should
reason
want.
I've
We
got
need to one
DS.
v one each other. I love that game.
We need
Yeah,
to swap friend codes after this.
yeah, we need to because that's so. I love playing Smash. Do you play Pokemon as well?
I used to, well,
Uh,
on the Game Boy Advance, I think I played Sapphire
uh-huh.
Blue, and there was another one which I can't remember. But
Emerald.
then on the, I think it was Emerald, and then on the DS, I think the only one I've played so far is Black,
Ah, all right then.
and
Because
that's pretty much where I left that.
Fair enough. Because I would recommend you get the what's it called, the sixth generation of Pokemon, which is X and Y or
Hmm.
Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, because they're really fun games. Because
Mm.
oh my, the meta has changed. Because they basically what they did is I can sum it up for you very quickly. They
Hmm.
I'm fairly certain you noticed dragons were overpowered. They were. If you have a
Yeah.
dragon, you would win. So they
Yeah.
decided, let's balance that by adding a new type that's immune to dragons. And it's
Of
fairy. And
course.
basically, there's a Pokemon which I have on my team because I play Pokemon a lot,
Hmm.
which is a fairy type. And basically, if you don't know how to go deal against it, you will lose because that's basically how it works. And I would recommend you play Pokemon. I think the only problem that's with playing Pokemon is that it's really hard to stream just in general because, or for someone
Yeah.
like you, because Nintendo are fair regards to recording.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, yeah. Oh, we should definitely play Smash Bros. So I play a lot of that.
Mm, mm, mm. I just
Uh,
need to get that. I think I've left them in London, but I definitely need to
uh,
pick the DS up and find Smash Bros again. And yeah, definitely.
Fair enough then. Well, I guess we should move on to Train Simulator.
Yeah, sure.
Why
Let's
not?
go for it.
So, you make Grant videos. Not I wouldn't say in a similar style to me because mine's sort of like a podcast, more news show
Yeah.
oriented,
Well, I just make runts while I'm driving the trains that I'm making
yeah,
around about. Yeah.
pretty much. So they are a different style to me, but we do kind of get around the same points that
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
game needs to get fixed and
Oh,
routes
hell
are too
yeah.
linear. Yeah, because the game is so buggy, it's not even funny.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like users like us that have played the game so long that are probably the ones making all these kind like I will still keep playing this game and I
Mhm.
really like the game, but it's not like I'm bashing the game so much that I'm just like, look, you shouldn't play it, you shouldn't play it, you shouldn't play it. No, I'm just a very concerned long-term player, and that's why
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
having
Same.
concerns. Yeah.
I have the concerns as well because I know Dovetail can make good good trains. Like the BR-155 is the
Yeah.
least worst train they've made.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely. Yeah.
then they say, okay, this is what we can do. And then a couple of weeks later, here's the voice gravita. It's terrible. In fact, there's a glitch with the voice gravita that I found out in a video, which I might link it on in the description. If you drive it in forwards, you see the what's it called? You'll see a dial that shows the amount of force from the motors, which
Yeah.
that goes up fine. Now, if you drive in reverse and go because it's a shunter, so you can drive forwards and reverse. If you
Yeah,
drive in reverse, according to the train, you are applying minus force to move forwards.
yeah.
Which,
Oh my God.
granted, I don't do physics. I mean, I got an A in physics, but I will be honest, you can't do that. You can't apply negative force, which is braking, and accelerate.
Yeah, just a little unrealistic there.
Yeah, they might want to fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also routes being too linear and serving
Mm,
not really much of a
yes.
purpose. Like, what's it called? Trent Valley is the best example I can think of. Why is it Stafford to Rugby? Those
Oh,
two
yeah.
places serve. Well, why Stafford to Rugby?
It's so plain. Like, it's just two stations that are like they're I guess they're big stations, like kind of
Yeah.
relevant stations, but it's like, you had, as you said in your videos, you had Birmingham there. You had the whole network of like train networks of Birmingham around Birmingham where it could have just, go like interlink
Yeah, a
down with it.
network style route with a cross city line. People would
Exactly.
appreciate that.
Exactly. Like you just missed out Birmingham completely. You didn't even value its existence in that route, and it's
Mhm.
just like I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to keep that for something else, but it's just like the route Trent Valley was just
It's eye
too
candy. Yeah,
plain.
it
Yeah, it
looks
was icon.
nice.
Yeah,
It looks nice, but does it really matter if you've only got two barely significant places to go to?
exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, like I said, that 350 was barely improved from the 450 it was released for Portsmouth Direct. I mean, it has a
Mm,
new cab, which is nice, but
mm, mm,
sounds are still bad, brakes
yeah.
are still bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I do remember in your Q&A, you did
Yeah.
say about a route that you would appreciate would be the what's it called, the line the line the Eurostar runs on. So
Yeah.
St Pancras to Brussels, Week,
Brussels,
and
Lille, or
Lille.
all of those probably
Yeah.
include, not just one to one.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course, yeah,
Yeah.
certainly. Now, I have a bit of a theory of why they won't make that route.
Okay.
At least we got at least a route of that scale. Now,
Okay.
I'm trying to remember because I'm trying to remember what it was. Now, regards to length, I can't exactly remember the length. I had a picture, but I can't remember where I put it because I'm a smart person. But I do remember that it would be slightly longer than the typical hour and a half, which
Mm-hmm.
that's expected for a line that long. But I think the
Yeah.
reason why they won't make it is because most of the fans or people who buy all their things have a very short attention span.
Okay. Yeah.
Seriously, think about it. They look at the North London line. Yay! At
So loads of
70
stuff to
miles.
do. Yes.
Yes, I can go from Richmond to Stratford, or Stratford to Richmond. The possibilities. And
Yeah.
like I said, routes are. What else was there? There was a Semmering Barn. That was really short. I mean,
Yeah.
and it was padded out by the fact that it's a mountain pass and just conveniently takes an hour and a bit to do.
Yeah. Again, just eye candy really with that route.
Exactly. Nice assets for route building,
Mm. Oh
but
yeah.
doesn't really matter because you've barely got anything to do. So I have a feeling that's probably one of the reasons why they won't make a route valve scale,
Yeah.
and possibly also because the Eurostar. Well, have you actually heard what a Eurostar sounds like? Not at high
Oh
speed, just the motors.
yeah. Oh, it's wow. It has some of the most distinct electric motors
Yeah,
out
this
there.
side
Like
of the
it just
323.
yeah. You will hear, if you hear the sound of a Eurostar, you know it's a Eurostar. There's nothing that actually
Yeah.
just sounds that
So
distinct.
because of that, if they record from something else,
Oh.
everyone will know.
Oh God, no!
Everyone
If
will
they
know.
if they if they imagine that they just recycle themselves off the 395, and then you're
You
just
but
like,
you
what
can
the
see
hell?
them doing that. You can
Yeah,
see them doing that as well.
exactly. Yeah.
And plus, the Eurostar has how many safety systems? Is it six?
Oh,
Because you've got
it's.
AWS,
Hmm.
TPWS, KVB, TVM, TBL, and like Crocodile, I think. Yeah, six.
Yeah. Yeah, you can have so many of those systems because obviously it just travels between two different countries.
Three different countries.
Three
Belgium.
different countries, yeah, and that's it would be just probably just too much for Dovetail games to comprehend to actually put into one
Yeah.
unit.
Yeah, and speaking of which, the Eurostar on MSTS that Chris Trains made, it did something somewhat unique, which I really like, and no other train or railworks has actually implemented this, at least that I know of. When you
Okay.
reach 40 kilometers an hour, it automatically plays an announcement
Oh, that's
in the
really
passenger
nice.
view. Unfortunately, it's in French, so I never knew what it meant.
Well, at least it's an
Oh yeah,
announcement.
oh
Nicely
yeah,
timed, yeah.
of course. But every time I was driving the Eurostar, because I obviously didn't learn French. Well, actually, not obviously, because
Mm.
I didn't learn French because well, tell a lie. I did learn French in year five and year six, and then when I went into year seven, they asked me what language do you want to learn, and I said Spanish for some odd
Uh,
reason.
yeah, I
But
did a bit of French. I did a
yeah,
bit of French.
yeah,
Never carried it through to.
yeah. No worries
But
about
but
that.
but speaking on the MSTS, which I've never actually played it, and but I have a funny story with it where this is back then when I wasn't too knowledgeable about simulators, and I wanted to get into Railworks, so I got into Railworks and. I ordered. This is the time where I was like ordering CDs and stuff as of
Ah,
just
yeah.
downloadable content. So
Mhm.
I went onto Amazon or eBay or whatever was selling these things that I was going to buy. I bought like a load of them,
Mhm.
and the things that I bought were DLC add-ons. And
Yeah,
I thought,
expansion packs.
okay, yeah, I thought these were going to work with Railworks or like these work individually alone. So I bought like 4 or 5 MSTS expansion packs without actually buying MSTS, and I just had like these like 5 just lying around in my house, just like never being used because I've never even got MSTS in the first place.
Poor add-ons.
But their add-ons, their structure of their add-ons are just so much better. Like,
Exactly. We're going backwards in general because did you by any chance get Making Tracks is Great Eastern? Was one of them.
no, I
Well,
don't think so.
put it this way, okay? It has a similar structure to the Dovetail one. Only it's much better. You only get London to Ipswich, which is annoying. However, you
Hmm.
also get the branch to Clacton
Yeah,
and Walton on Naze and what's it called? Harwich International and Harwich Town,
yeah.
and the Braintree branch and the Sudbury branch and the Upminster branch and the Southminster branch and South and Victoria branch. And oh, you get a lot of trains as well. You
Yeah,
don't
you
just
get
get one.
variety. You get
Yes.
variety.
And it was actually taking place in Network Southeast. So,
Hmm.
some originality there.
Yeah.
But, also it came with 15 activities, of which a couple of them were multi-parters. Yay!
That's how it should be. That really is how it should be.
Yeah, but lol, no, we'll just have London to Ipswich with the Braintree branch and a 360. The least common train on the line.
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
What it made no sense to include the free. Oh, okay. It would make sense to include the 360 as well as other trains.
Yes, yes, just as a minor kind of thing where you can play around with it because it's not the most common thing that you see on the line.
Exactly, but it's treated as if it is,
Yeah.
which that kind of annoyed me. All
Mm.
right, so regards to add-ons in general, what would you say is your least favorite train simulator add-on, and your most favorite?
Least favorite would probably have to be the Midland Main Line.
Ah, I wasn't expecting you to say that. What are your reasons?
I just think it's not really. I don't think it's a really interesting route. I think like even in real life, somewhat, it's not really that interesting,
Hmm.
and they could have easily just extended it up a bit more to actually more interesting places and included places where East Midlands trains like
Yeah,
cover most areas, like up to Leicester, Sheffield,
Corby.
etc. Yeah, exactly. Because that's where the route gets, I think, more interesting with the in the Midlands region. While just going from St Pancras to Bedford just doesn't really it
It's
doesn't really
bland. Yeah, really
yeah, it's
bland.
really bland, and they didn't even bother like they could have gone down to something like Blackfriars or something like that, or even London Bridge,
Hmm.
which would have made it much easier to connect that route up instead of people like on the workshop trying to struggle to get it to stitch together.
Hmm. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
But at least it includes another 66.
Oh, God. Well, are we on number 102 or something with car 66?
Maybe. It's,
Oh, that train is oversaturated.
tell me about it. It's more than oversaturated. It's
It's
common. It's more common than a pigeon.
yes, yes. Oh,
Your most favourite?
most favorite. Um,
It's not just
pro-
limited to routes, by the way. It's also trains. So
oh,
sorry about that. I didn't make it clear.
well, I'll give you my favorite train and route. The
Hmm.
route probably the South London network
Just because
because
it's non-linear and
it's yeah, it's non-linear, has a lot of things to do. You can do a lot of things with Southern, Southeastern, sort of London Overground, and there's just a lot of operations you can do with it. And that's
hmm
kind of like how I wish, like say the West Coast Main Line Trent Valley would have been a bit built like that, where you just had the kind of main line going through, and then you have things to do
yeah,
on the
I agree.
side. Favorite train? Oh,
Mm.
put me on the spot here. Favorite train would probably have to be. Does it have to be a Dovetail Games train?
No, of course, no, no. My all my suggestions, my questions were ranged to any of the add-ons. So I should have been more specific. So any add-on, even if it's not on Steam, as long as it's for Train
Ah,
Simulator. Sorry about that. I should have been able.
okay. Well, I like the Class 40 from Armstrong Powerhouse a
Railright,
lot.
Railright did
Yeah,
it, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah. The published on Armstrong Powerhouse,
mhm.
and I think that's just like wow, that's just an incredible train, and just shows you what can be done, and also is like affordable comparing to what Dovetail have recently done with just
Yeah.
releasing one variant for
Well,
11.99.
technically it's two, but still, it's well, yeah,
Well,
because oh yeah, it's one variant, but it's two liveries.
yeah,
But
but you had so many with the rail,
mm,
the original rail
yeah,
like one.
Honestly, if you ask me, I think those ones should have been included with the main pack, at least as an
Yeah,
update. But yeah, I
yeah.
get you. Yeah.
Like, what would it actually have done? What would it have been so bad to actually just include all of them? Like, what would they have lost out from
Because
including?
it's out of 200 variants. It's one out of 200. It's not 200 out of one.
Mm.
It's kind of like that. What's it called? That kind of mind experiment that Vsauce did. Does it really matter if you add? Does it really matter if there's one lion or two lions as opposed to 97 lions or 98
Yeah.
lions? It doesn't really. Yeah, it doesn't matter so much. But carry on.
No, no, it doesn't. Yeah. So that's probably my favorite. Just it's just so interesting to just drive because it just feels like a proper simulated train. It's a bit overwhelming, like when you've just been driving so many of these land trains and you step into a train that like's fully simulated. It's like it overwhelms you
Mm-hmm.
when you step into the cab. Uh, I guess my
About routes, yeah.
favorite third party route, just out of the ones I've probably played, is probably the Scottish ECML.
Oh,
But I just like it. It's just nice. It's just nicely built up,
is
and
that the one with the fifth or first bridge?
the fourth
Oh,
bridge.
yeah,
Yeah,
fourth. I can't
I
remember the
just
name of it. Yeah.
I like the look of the route. I like the kind of the driving options you have on it, and it's just a really kind of nice kind of route to drive on, I guess. And it's like cool little things like it has like those kind of relaying station announcements as well, which I like as well when you kind of pull into a station and then you can just hear like the announcements on the thing, which I wish more. Like I wish like more maps had that, like because it's
Yeah.
just nice to hear station announcements. Like you're not just pulling up into some just
Random
ghost
station. Yeah.
station. Yeah, I just wish more stuff like that could be added.
I don't think. Well, in general, I don't think it would be too difficult to add as well because or you
No,
can just add it by a sound region on in the editor.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
but I
Yeah.
agree with you. I can see you liking that. Well, to be honest, I haven't actually used that route, so I don't really have much of an opinion on it. So yeah.
Hmm.
Um, you're probably wondering about me, even though I keep them close to my chest because I don't want to. Well, regards to in general, I don't really have my most favorite or my least favorite. I mean, regards to add-ons, in my opinion, the worst add-on ever is the Armstrong Powerhouse DBSO because it serves because the train
Hmm.
itself has one purpose. It was created for one purpose.
Hmm.
They omitted that purpose when they sold it. It can't be driven. The DV if you make basically what they have is a non-driving driving brake stand open.
Oh
which,
my.
which doesn't make any logical sense. It doesn't make business sense, let alone
Yeah,
logical sense.
yeah,
And
yeah, I get
people
that.
have Stockholm syndrome over that. Yeah, pretty much. How dare you! It was made by the Armstrong Powerhouse. It's untouchable. You
Yeah,
deserve
it's
to be
like,
banned from UK Train Sim.
oh yeah, it's not like Armstrong Powerhouse. Like Armstrong Powerhouse makes some good stuff, but they don't make it. Nothing's all perfect with them. They have made
One
some
great
like,
sound pack. Yeah,
yeah,
carry on.
yeah.
Sorry. Also, regards to Armstrong Powerhouse's sound pack, one which I always thought sounded a bit weird was well, I think it was the Voyager sound pack because it's a diesel electric, the Voyager, and there's
Mm,
one sound they've seemed to miss off, which I think is the motor accelerating. It's
hmm.
hard, and it's hard. I'm not sure if it is exactly that sound because I don't travel on Voyagers too much, but I think
Yeah.
they missed that sound out, and it's kind of odd because when I did used to go on Voyagers a lot, that was the sound I remembered the most. But oh well,
Mm.
can't have everything.
Mm.
Um, but I'm trying to think. What was the other thing I wanted to ask? Have you ever considered building your own route on Train Simulator?
Oh, wow. Well, the whole kind of thing with route building or even scenario making, which
Oh yeah,
I haven't even touched upon. Like I'm just more of a kind of like play it and
yeah.
don't really think about building it. But I've always I like before I tried like much before even when I started doing YouTube videos, I tried to kind of get into kind of building routes and making scenarios, but I just never. Back then, I was a bit just it took too long for me to learn, so I just kind of gave up on it. And then now, when I'm like doing the channel with like YouTube videos, I wish I want to actually get to a point where I can just like do something like that, where I can build routes and stuff like that. But I just don't have enough time to invest to kind of like learn to do that
Hmm.
all. But I'm definitely open to to do it in like the future where I actually like sit down, because I really would like to just like make my own route and just have a bash at it, and
Or like a
even like
fictional route or something, or real life route.
yeah, even a fictional one, or one
Yeah.
slightly based off real life. Like I have ideas in my head. It's just like converting them into something is the thing to hopefully get at one point someday.
All right then. Well, I would give you a suggestion for the time being. Stay away from the route built from the route editor. Just stay away from it. It's so. I think the best way I can really put it is, it's the most disobedient piece of software I've used in a long time.
Oh yeah,
I
like
just
amount of time. Yeah.
yeah, because I'm building my own route with the assistance of two friends of mine,
Hmm.
and well, like I said, my ideas are how else can I put it? I'm trying to work out because I've been building it for best part of nearly. Well, this is the third year, nearly,
Oh wow,
and I'm still not finished. And even though it is a fictional route, I'm
wow.
just still not finished because I want to make a route that
Mm.
I would enjoy, and the kind of route that I
Yeah,
enjoy is non-linear, lots of things to do, both freighter and passenger. Isn't just A to B, B to A. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind too much if there was a linear portion, like a linear main. I wouldn't mind that as long as you can branch off, or if there's
yeah.
multiple services. That's fine. So I'm building a route kind of like that. It takes inspiration in the southeast, and it's also partially inspired, but from the West Coast main line. But yeah, I doubt. I have no idea when I'm going to finish it, but it will be free because why bother charging money for something like that?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it looks good from what from
Uh,
like live streams and stuff I've been seeing. It looks
oh
really.
yeah, that's to be honest. One thing that I will say right now is that live streaming is my weakest form of media. I can't live stream at all. I mean, those were really just two attempts. They weren't the worst attempts known to man, but I just didn't really
Yeah.
get around to it.
I've kind of come to realization with my channel, is that I'm more of a YouTuber than a streamer, even though I kind of started streaming like last year, whatever, kind of regularly, and people seem to enjoy it. But I think streaming is just like it's a kind of different kind of way of portraying yourself and the content that you wanna do. And I think I prefer definitely more the kind of YouTube side of things, while streaming can just be a bit more
Mm-hmm.
just unorganized and a bit uncontrolled. But
All right then. Well, I think the last few things to say is I'm not sure, you did actually write a review about Train Simulator before,
oh
and
yeah, there, that, yeah.
I don't think a lot of people have seen it, but I will at least ask you, what is your opinion on the DLC model?
Oh.
What do you have to say
Are
for
you
that?
are you sitting comfortably?
Yes, I am.
Um, I, it's not good. It really just is not good. It's just too much stuff that they're producing at a fast rate to obviously keep up with whatever demand that they have of intake or income they need to have to kind of survive. But
Yeah.
it's just not the kind of way I see it is that and also like what people in the like if do you know Matt Pedalston.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was streaming. So he's like a producer of. Or no, he's head of the next gen game thing that they're making. Hopefully, it'll be good.
Oh yeah.
Uh, he actually said like people were commenting about why can't Train Sim have sort of a kind of Euro Truck model, in a way
Yeah.
like it's a kind of I don't know Korea, and you don't have loads of DLCs. You only have like bits when you need them or whatever. And why
Hmm.
wasn't there like more of the game available at launch instead of, because right now it's essentially if you buy Train Simulator, it's just like a one piece of a puzzle, and then you have to fit the puzzle yourself and buy loads of pieces to kind of
Yeah.
make your game.
That's a
And
good
it's
analogy. Yeah.
and me and another friend who's like my kind of guy who helps me with my channel, Gamer Mike. We've like discussed this so much, like where it's like it's just you're buying like a demo, and then you're having to kind of pay your way through to actually to build yourself the full game, and that's just not really right in my opinion.
Hmm.
And the way that Matt Pedalston on the stream was commenting on how Train Sim is, and this is the kind of Dovetail Games model, is that that Train Simulator is a model, kind of like you look at it as like a model railway.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, I debunked that, yeah, because you shouldn't
yeah,
treat this game like a
yeah.
model railway. You should treat it like a simulator.
Oh my God! Like it's just the way he was like saying, yeah, you would buy your trains and your maps like you would buy your kind of like trains and like tracks and stuff to lay out your model railway, which I think is absolute. Can I swear?
Go ahead, yeah, like I said, go ahead.
I think it's just absolute bullshit because like when you
Exactly.
when you like with model, like the thing with like real life model railway kind of things,
Yeah.
they have like a high premium price for all their kind of like locos and model kind of parts and stuff like that. But the thing is,
Yeah.
that's quality material, and
Exactly.
it's physical as well.
It's
So
just, yeah, you can hold. I remember when I was younger, I had a that what's it called, the Virgin HST from Hornby. I mean, it
mm,
broke, but yeah, I had a model. It was expensive. I could
yeah,
physically hold it and stuff like that.
yeah, and you can see that like work went into it, and it's like it's more of a kind of like as well art as well. So you're kind of buying like these kind of pieces, and they kind of and you keep them, and it feels better because like obviously you feel more comfortable paying such a premium price or something like that because
Hmm.
and you wouldn't buy a lot of things these like unless you're really extremist, you want to build like a whole den like of a model
Yeah.
something like that. But the thing is that works with that kind of way. But then if you bring it to train sim, where it's software. It's like it's a game. It's virtual.
Hmm.
It just and the thing is these kind of like models or whatever that you're buying to kind of put your whole model railway together. They're not like they're not like 100% quality. I remember the one that episode that I really liked of yours is when you were talking about the quality control, where you have certain DLC that comes out with like more features than another one, but they're priced the exact same price. That's just not
Exactly. Yeah. Again, my BR155 and Voice Gravita example.
it's just it's like it's so stupid like people like as well like PTG Rail who like comment on certain things that are simulated in like certain trains and then you go to another train and like well this ain't simulated in this one so I can't do that and it's just it just doesn't feel right that you're having to pay this kind of premium price for loads of these things that are just not equally the same kind of quality and
Yeah.
it shouldn't be treated like a model railway kind of type thing because it really isn't because if this is a model railway I'm building a train simulator, it's one hell of an ugly model railway kind of set I'm building.
Yeah.
And it's just not functional, and it's just like But that's I think it just I don't know. I hope for like if we're going to like talk about also the Unreal Engine kind of one that's going to be coming out this year, I guess. I just hope it isn't going to be a kind of port over to port over of graphics where
Yeah.
it's just they just upgrade the graphics and then they keep everything the same. Because if they do that, then I've just completely
The
lost
game is
all faith.
dead. The game is
Yeah, the
dead.
game is dead. The game really is just dead.
Yeah. That's. I think pretty much what you've said is the best way I could really put it. I think in my most recent episode, I stated the what's it called, the episode 23,
Hmm.
the one I uploaded not too long ago, or a couple of days, or yesterday actually, but uh, the episode falls under the lines of I said in one part of the episode that the model, the what's it called, the DLC model works in a way of it doesn't reward people who invest, it punishes those who don't. Because
Yes.
if you get two people, let's say you got another game, let's say Pokemon, get two people who play Pokemon and say,
Mm.
okay, go away and make your own teams. No matter that, neither of those people are at a disadvantage. However, if you get Train Simulator and say, okay, you go ahead and just make a scenario. You are allowed. This person here is allowed to buy the DLC. This person isn't. No matter which way you look at it, the person who does invest in the DLC, their scenario will be better. It will
Mm.
have more the correct rolling stock, uh,
Mm. Yeah.
war and stuff like that. It will be better, and that person is being punished. The other person is being punished not because they're bad at the game, but I don't know because they didn't invest in the DLC. So that's
Mm.
what I always
Mm.
say to people who say, "Oh, the DLC is optional. You don't have to buy it." Well, how optional is it?
Yeah, and some of the options that they even make available for people to buy, it's just like I hate where routes come with like a train, and then we have to expect to wait to get other trains to be included in that route. Like it's like it's not really fair to, you know, like I don't know example with the with the Great Eastern Main Line, where you have the 360, which is just so uncommon, and then eventually we're gonna get. I don't know if we'll ever get like the actual current rolling stock on the line, and it's like stuff with like say London to Brighton, it came with the 377. Okay, that's common, but then we've had to wait so long for like the 319, which wasn't that good, and then the 442, which wasn't that good.
And there was no 460 because reasons.
Oh yeah, but, like why not? Like and like why are they so scared? The thing is, I don't know if Dovetail Games are, why are they so scared of just like innovating and actually having maybe like a like say with a Gatwick Express DLC where you get like all the types of trains that were doing the Gatwick Express throughout the time periods. Like they're now making that other Gatwick Express. What's it?
Well, yeah, the 73 and 489.
Yeah, they're making
However, that's a 9 Horsehouse rehash because a while ago, the Iron Horsehouse, Mr. Paul Godbeer, got done by the ASA, and he sold all of his add-ons to Dovetail to sell through to sell on updates. The Class 20, 52, just to name a few, I think.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, where it's
certainly.
like we're having individual kind of things sold at like the same kind of price, and it's just like why can't this all just be like together? Just to, I don't know. It's just
painful.
too. It's painful. It's just too much. Like the thing is like with Train Sim, like obviously they want choice, and it's good to give players like choice and stuff like that, but they're giving too much choice, and they're giving it in such a bad way, like that where it's overpriced, where it's like minimal stuff with like an option that you would go for. Well, they should really just experiment more, because to be honest, even like the whole thing with the Unreal Engine 4, like that's good, showing that they can want to go maybe in a different direction or whatever. But this current game can still be saved and actually still have quite a lot of longevity, because they can just need to kind of reshuffle what they're doing and try a different model, experiment with different things that they release, and not just keep it this kind of same locked dead kind of like, here's a DLC with a map and a train, and then you're going to wait some time to get some more trains for it, and then here's another train every other week, and then here's this, and it's just like a pile up of stuff, really.
All right then, yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I guess your opinion is also very similar towards the train simulator marketplace.
Yeah, I'm not too like. I don't really have any much opinion about it. I just think it's not really a thing that's even talked about too much.
I'm pretty much the only person who mentions it.
It's so well. I don't know. I don't even know why they do it. To be honest, some things on it are like, I guess, cool, but then you have things where like you can get free alternatives or whatever off it. Like I think my next video that I'm releasing is off the which I bought, the blue Southeastern 375 skin, which I only just bought because I couldn't find anything any other kind of scenarios with just the kind of freeware stuff of it. But I think like the marketplace is very, like, I wouldn't really recommend people buying or whatever. But if there's something that you really want and like, then then go for it, I guess, if you really really want it. But it's not something that I don't know, like the marketplace could be turned into something good, but it's not. It's really non-existent currently.
Are we flipping regards to the marketplace if they put signals and platforms there? Then I'll be really angry as a route builder.
As a route builder, like,
it's
using
painful.
it's stupid as well. Like, why are you selling assets to, like, you have a route builder in the game, and like again, I agree with, like, in the episode when you were talking about where when say different routes come out with different assets, you have to then buy the route to actually use the assets in the route builder, which is like kind of stupid. It should just the
should be like
MSTS.
The structure should be very similar. I'm not sure if you remember this because you said you didn't use MSTS, but
Mm-hmm.
the structure with MSTS is, let's say you made a fictional route and it used assets from let's say they use assets from, let's say, London South Coast, which was the equivalent of London to Brighton. You won't have to. You can include the shape and texture files in your route, and then you could assign them onto the definition file. Say, okay, he's going to use these files here. People don't have to buy that route to get that route, and people say, "Oh, it's piracy." No, because you don't have the route. It's just the text.
Exactly.
No, everything is fine.
It's like it makes sense. And the thing is, then you get more kind of a variety and stuff from actual route builders because then you're constricting route builders to actually have to pay. Like, say you might be a route builder and you might not want to at all like play on some of these routes that they release, but you want to use the assets to actually make stuff for people to play on.
Hmm.
And it just I don't know. It's so probably Dovetail didn't even think about the route builders. That's probably like somewhere at the bottom of their like really long list of who they need to satisfy. Because
Yeah,
right now at the top of their list, it's probably just
the kids, the young kids.
new little kids coming in, and nothing wrong with that. We should
Yeah,
encourage kids to come into this community. But
but
it's
yeah.
sad that Dovetail are just thinking about them and not other people on this list, like long term players, like route builders as well. Like, it really feels like they're just focusing on one area to milk that section of it.
Plus, kids are very easy to please, as
Oh yeah,
evidence. They're easy to please. You don't need to make a train really realistic to impress a
yeah.
kid.
Yeah, and that's why probably loads of people like us, long-term players, are probably we're just losing respect for Dovetail each day and day it
Hmm.
goes by like this because it's just they're catering obviously for those little kids and that kind of section where they're just going to be always buying because they just see it and they're like, oh my god, that looks nice, I must have it.
Yeah.
While we're actually looking more in detail of things like, okay, we want certain things that should have
Hmm.
been here, whatever, but they're still not delivering on that, so we're just going to lose respect and then Unreal Engine 4 will come around, and if they still are playing this game, then it's gonna fail, as you said. It's just gonna be
Yeah.
dead.
I still think they're gonna do the same thing. I can sense it happening because they're not gonna just change like that. Because that's the
Yeah.
thing. They
Oh,
haven't really. You first.
let's just hope that we're proved wrong. I really hope
Yeah,
because
I hope.
I really want it to be a surprise, like when it just because in a way. There's like it's a bad and a good thing that they haven't shown anything about Unreal
Oh
Engine
yeah,
4 yet.
son. Yeah, good thing because keep surprising it,
Keep
keeps the
surprised. And a
tension.
bad thing is that we kind of maybe there's nothing really much to show. Maybe it's just going to be just a graphics overhaul, so they're not really discussing anything because that might upset most people.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe I'm hoping it's the kind of good surprise where literally we don't know anything about, it, and then at the end they're like releasing all of this stuff that they're going to be changing, and it's going to be hopefully a good experience. Like it doesn't have to be the most
Yeah,
perfect
that's the thing. It
experience.
doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good.
Yeah, it has to be good. It has to be just, it has to have longevity. It has to please like an all-round experience of people. It can't
Hmm.
just please one section of people that you're catering to. It needs to like it needs to cater to everyone that's playing it. And
All right then.
that's the only way that they're going to actually move ahead with the Unreal Engine 4 game. And
Yeah.
also, well, to be honest, I don't know like how the current gen is actually going to continue because obviously they say they're going to continue with that and support that. So they're
I
going to
don't
obviously
think they will. They'll just like, okay, we're gonna support it. Then they're gonna do a micro. They're gonna pull a Microsoft and just forget about it.
because if you
Yeah.
think about it, if they actually if they actually make a decent game with the Unreal Engine 4, then what's the point of sticking with the
Exactly.
current
No
gen?
one will
So
play it.
so they're going to basically kill off their current gen, and that's one moneymaker gone. So in a way, maybe it's probably bad news in a way.
Mm.
It probably will just be the same kind of model because if they actually make a better game, people are going to be like, why am I still here on the current engine? I'm going to go to the
Yeah.
new engine. But then
Exactly.
again, you're going to have people that have invested quite a lot in the current one, so they're not going to fully go away from it. But
Mm.
it's going to be an interesting time when it starts kind of coming out with kind of things, and then
Yeah,
we'll
I
just hope.
agree. It will be interesting.
But
Uh,
I really do hope for all the players' sake, and even like Dovetail's sake, I just hope that it's a good game, just a solid. Doesn't have to be perfect. Every game has flaws, but I hope it's just something that every kind of player can enjoy to like some kind of level, in a way.
all right then. Well, the last question. I think I'm going to I have a question which I'm going to ask at the end of all my interviews,
Okay.
hopefully. And this is the question that I have, which is nicked from Stuart K. Riley, but I don't care because he doesn't watch the show. What do you Okay, I'm trying to remember. Do you have any Oh crap! I forgot to mess. Oh, hang on. It's on the tip of my tongue. Don't worry. Well, it's not nicked. It's a slightly more original question. What do you have? What are your plans for the future, regards to either train simulator or just yourself? And
Um. Well. Myself.
yeah.
Well. just trying to balance university and all like free time and YouTube is hard. But I don't know, like university, I'm studying geology, and I don't know where it is going to really go because I never really knew if I wanted to go to university. I've kind of
Just
just
went
been
there.
it's just kind of been funneled with my family, just like, yeah, you need to do education. Education's good for you. And the thing is, like, I didn't even know what else I could do if I didn't go. So I kind of just went along with it and then just picked a subject that was mildly interesting to me that might keep me satisfied for these couple of years. But after that, I don't know. Just hopefully get a get a job somewhere in the geological sector, hopefully.
Mhm.
Um, I want at one point in my career I would love to actually try and be a train driver. That's something that I like. It's on my bucket list that I need to actually have just be a train driver. Just a
Any
couple of
specific train?
um, Pendolino maybe or
Hmm.
just something like that. Probably, I don't mind like intercity or suburban service. Nothing. I wanted to be a tube driver at one point, but then that's
Yeah,
all becoming automatic, so there's no real point.
exactly.
But it would be nice some point in my life, in my career, to do that. That'd be just something. If I died and I didn't do it, I would just regret it so much.
Hmm.
But that's like in my life with the channel on YouTube. Well, I'm just gonna keep going with what it is right now. Kind of have a good thing with Train Sim and OMSI 2. I'm
Hmm.
trying to kind of introduce new things with my kind of QWERTY Try series and try different games, maybe not even
Yeah.
simulation related, just to kind of mix things.
Hmm.
And I don't know, like with Train Sim with the next gen, if I even said it, like if it's just a complete disappointment, that'll probably be I'll probably stop doing content on Train Sim just
Yeah.
because there just wouldn't be any
It
kind
would
of
be fun. Yeah.
no, there wouldn't be any love for it. There would it just because I'm just kind of the only reason I'm continuing now is because I'm just hoping maybe that this Unreal Engine 4 might revitalize some like some hidden enjoyment that I've been trying to unleash back into Train Sim.
Yeah, that's good. There was actually one question I just remembered off the top of my head, which I'll ask you very quickly.
Yeah,
What is your favourite train? Because I
in
asked if,
real
yeah, in real life, yeah.
in real life, probably the probably a train that I've never been on would be the 37 class 374, the Eurostar trains. I
Oh,
just love the sound of them, and
me too.
they're just so majestic. And I wish we had more trains like that in the UK because it's just such a shame that because obviously we don't have that much high speed kind of
Yeah, and our
network.
loading gauge is dreadful.
Yeah, because like I even liked like when a few of the 374 TGVs were actually loaned to like GNER
Yeah, I
back
miss those.
then.
Yeah, I remember
Like
seeing that when I was younger.
those are just so cool to see, and just it's a shame like because like in Europe, there's like many European countries, there's such a mix of trains, while here we're just like stuck with just certain types of train and not
Mm-hmm.
really any. We don't have any high speed or anything like that, so it's just a shame for that. But favorite train that I've been on
Mm-hmm.
would probably be either a HST with the VP 185 engines, not the MTUs. I don't really like the MTUs.
Alrighty then.
The VP 185s just sound just so good,
Yeah,
and
I like
just,
the VP 185s. They're all right.
they
I like them.
they remind of the Valentas a bit. Like obviously it's not a
Yeah.
Valenta, but
Yeah, I will say
it's
one thing regards to them. Well, not regards to the VP 185, but the
yeah.
actual Valentas. I'm gonna start a flame war. I hate the sound of the Valentas. I always have. I hate
Well,
them.
you either love them or hate them. Like it's
Yeah,
because
I mean
like
I like them. Oh, yo, you first. Go ahead.
with diesel trains, it's like it's particular sounds that you get from different locos. Like
Yeah.
you have like the kind of well, with DMUs, you have the kind of like just average kind of sound along the whole train or whatever, and then you have the actual locos, which are just like one big engine just in one
Yeah.
compartment or whatever. So I kind of like that with the Valentas, where you just have this just huge turbocharged diesel engine that just gargles and just throws out so much smoke, and it's just a beast.
Yeah, when I was younger, when I used to see the Valentas a bit when I was younger, because we used to go to Bournemouth, and we always had to
Yeah.
change at Reading,
Mm,
because I lived in, well, yeah, we lived in Feltham Staines, that area,
yeah.
and I always, I always covered my ears when the HSC was so looking
Yeah.
loud. I hated it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I prefer the VP-185s, and that will probably start a flame war in the comments. And hey, who cares? Because it's an opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
All right then. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on my show, Mr. QWERTY Afro, Miss Samuel.
Oh, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I definitely would love to come back again, definitely to do some more stuff in the future if you'll have me, definitely.
We'll consider. The future is ours to decide, and DuckTales,
Yes,
obviously.
yes. But
Thank
I hope,
you very. Oh,
yeah.
oh.
But I hope everyone's enjoyed it. I've definitely enjoyed it. It was definitely so much fun to just talk about stuff that we have in common.
Yeah, me too. Well, again, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you guys later. Goodbye.